The theory that you always hear is that it does require hours and hours to look like that.
The mistaken premise there is that more is better, and the body doesn't necessarily work that way. If 2 hours or 4 hours a day were good, well, why not train 12 hours a day? Training is a form of stress, and up to a certain point in time, exposing the body to stress can be beneficial, but beyond a definite period in time, it can actually be detrimental.
I would suggest that if you have been training recently without a layoff prior to the time you intend to start this program, take a break entirely from training for 2 to 3 weeks. Having been overtrained, you've made a deep, too deep, an inroad into your body's recovery ability. It is important that this inroad be overcome so that when you start with a properly conducted high-intensity routine, your body will have recovered all the biochemical resources necessary for optimal growth production. The first thing the body must do following a workout is not grow, but recover, overcome the inroad. That is, fill that hole. Or as I like to say more precisely, compensate for the exhaustive effects of the workout. Or more simply, replenish, restore, put back what was used up, put back what was there before the workout. The body must first replace what was there before the workout, or compensate, before it can put back more than was there before the workout, or overcompensate, which of course is what growth is. Recovery is putting back what was there before, i.e. compensating, and growth is putting back more than was there before, i.e. overcompensating. Recovery, therefore, precedes growth. And if you train again before the body has completed both the recovery and the growth processes, growth production will be compromised, short-circuited, shy of 100 possible units. Important here is the fact that the process of recovery alone may take up to several days or longer to be completed before the body even has the opportunity to start producing the growth that the workout merely stimulated. Please note the distinction between growth stimulation and growth production. And if the trainee works out again before the recovery process is completed, he will short-circuit the growth production process and merely start digging another hole. When I first started training people some years ago, I had my clients train 3 days a week, every 48 hours, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, with weekends off. And while most of them did well, I was absolutely convinced that they weren't achieving the results I knew were possible. And I didn't attribute this to undertraining, but to overtraining. So as remedy, I reduced their training frequency to 1 workout every 72 hours. Now they were training on Monday, taking Tuesday and Wednesday off, then training Thursday, taking Friday and Saturday off, and training Sunday, and so forth. While their progress was better, it still wasn't as good as I knew to be possible. Some might be prompted to ask the question at this point, well, Mentzer, what motivated you to continue thinking in this direction? It was something I learned from philosophy, that when in possession of a truly valid theory, and beyond that, and just as important, you're making the proper practical application of the theoretical principles, progress will be little short of spectacular all the time, no matter what the field of endeavor, whether you're sending a man to the moon, performing surgery, or developing muscle mass beyond normal levels. I had to admit that my clients' progress wasn't always thus. It wasn't until I reduced their training frequency to once every 4 to 7 days, back in February of 1995, that voila, they finally started achieving results of the order I always knew were possible. Where prior to that, I would only occasionally have a client gain 10 to 20 pounds in a month, or 30 to 40 pounds in 3 to 5 months, since February of 1995, such results have been the rule. I was initially reluctant to go to once every 4 to 7 days, as I, like everyone else apparently, had blindly and uncritically accepted the notion that decompensation starts after 96 hours of no training. This was during a period of rigorous philosophic retraining on my part, when I had reached the conviction I would never, ever again blindly accept anything that mystical they had to say. They say. Who is this they we all keep hearing about? I recall that many times I and numerous other bodybuilders of experience would remark, have you ever noticed that when you take a week or two layoff, that you always come back stronger? And every single one, without exception, replied, "You know, now that you mention it, yes, I have noticed that after a week or two off, I always come back stronger." I finally realized that if one comes back stronger after a week or two layoff, then he didn't decompensate. That is, grow weaker and smaller. No, he in fact overcompensated, just the opposite. He got stronger and didn't lose anything. Well, if you don't atrophy or decompensate after up to 2 weeks of no training, how in the hell is it going to happen after 4 days? It won't. And remember, it may take up to several days or longer just to compensate or recover from the workout. There is no decompensation after 4 to 7 days. No way, it just doesn't happen. I want to wrap up this section on theory with a broad general statement, on which I'll then elaborate briefly before describing the actual workout program. It is this, and I'd like you to write it down, please, very important. The big picture in bodybuilding is comprised essentially of 2 elements of equal value, 50-50, not 60-40 or 70-30, but 50-50. The first element, 50% of the big picture, of course, is the workout itself. And the other element, just as important as the workout, the other 50% is the rest period between workouts. And this is why that is true. The workout, you understand, does not actually produce muscle growth. Remember, the workout merely serves to stimulate or trigger the body's growth mechanism into motion. It is the body itself, of course, which actually produces the growth, but only if left undisturbed during a sufficient rest period. You don't rest enough, you don't grow enough.
Don't forget to watch Mike Mentzer Heavy Duty Routine. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.